What is going on, guys? So, in this episode, I present to you a mindset shift that I might be considering, and I suggest that you probably should do the same thing. Because the more you know, the more information, the more wisdom you acquire, the more you start seeing through the BS of, whether it's life in general, like how society is, or everything that you've been taught at a younger age about love, about about money, about society, about human beings in general. Okay, see, the more you know, the more you learn about these things, and the more you discover new information, it's like the more upset you become, the more frustrated you become, and the more hopeless sort of thing you become. And they say ignorance is a bliss for a reason. They don't say it for no reason, you know what I'm saying? So when if I'm ignorant, if I'm not aware of what is happening around me, whether that's, the programming that we've been through, like as children through the TV shows and whatever about how society is and what women like in men, and how money's made, in college, which is the biggest scam out there, obviously. It's like the more you learn about these things and start realizing what is actually going on behind closed doors, you just kind of become a little bit frustrated, honestly. It can really kind of get to you if you let it. And what I want to say, man, is sometimes just going full blown retard mode, sometimes just becoming retarded might be the answer, man, and that's something that I'm considering. I might go ahead and do it. Honestly, I might just start pretending that I don't know the things that I know about life. I might start pretending that I don't know the things that I know about human nature, about society, about life in general, about money, how money's made. I might start pretending that I don't know how people actually make money. Y'all want to know something crazy, bro? Money isn't what you think it is. Money is dominance. Money is the richest people in the world have dominated someone or something, or a company or organization. They dominated somebody in order to get that money, mentally, psychologically. And there's a lot of dark things that happen that are related to money and that sort of thing, but I'm not going to get into it. But it's just crazy out there. That's why people that are doing the righteous path, being a good stand-up man, a good stand-up woman, doing your 40 hours a week, clocking in and out. These are the people that are struggling. These are the people that can't pay their rents. These are the people that are confused how these other people have all these resources and all that wealth. They just don't understand what's really happening. So there's going to be a level of confusion. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, man, if you go retarded, man, that's the only solution. That's the only option that you have sometimes, because only then will you be in a state of being that is peaceful. That you're like, okay, I'm just gonna pretend that I don't know what I know. What I know, I'm gonna pretend that I don't know how love is, and how the sexual underworld is about, because society is not going to tell you about, you know, human sexuality. They don't educate you these things in college or in high school, They don't educate you that if you're going out to the club with your wife and you're a beta male, that you don't have any sort of presence, any masculine energy, any dominance energy. And if you're not, if you don't look like a strong person that is dominant. Society is not going to tell you that if you look like a weak beta male that goes to the club with your wife, that your wife is going to be looking across the table from that alpha male, making eye contact with him, and all he has to do is do this, man. And she's gonna meet him in the bathroom, man. And he gonna get it in with her, man. Society doesn't tell you that. They don't teach us this in college, right? They don't teach us these things. They don't teach us that sexuality is way darker than you think. Sexuality is something that happens, psychologically first. They're not going to teach you that. They're not going to teach you that as soon as a man conquers a woman psychologically, whether it's in public, whatever, and even if she has a man, if he's able to step into the picture and dominate the other man, if he's a beta male, obviously this won't work on an alpha male that knows what's going on. This won't work with a guy with presence, with a masculine aura. This can't work with that kind of guy, man. But if you're a weak motherfucker, then another dominant guy can just walk into the picture and you're just blue pilled. You don't know what the fuck is going on, man. You're going to think that he's a friendly guy that's just talking to you and your wife. But the next thing you know, he's blowing her back out the next week in your house, on your bed. Society doesn't teach men these things. That's why when these things happen, men get frustrated and they commit crimes that they shouldn't be committing. They do violent things because the beta male is the male that commits the most crimes, and because he doesn't understand, he lacks the awareness. They lack the awareness of what's really happening. So when they see that, oh, what, this guy's sleeping with my wife, I thought he was my friend. I thought that this guy was my best friend. Why is he sleeping with my wife? That's kind of weird. They get confused. They don't know what the fuck is going on because no one taught these people these things. No one knows this information. But you gotta register and understand that we are animals at the end of the day, man. So some guy, let me tell you something about. I know I talk about female nature, but let me tell you something really shitty about male nature. Something really dark that you're probably not even ready for. But let me just go ahead and tell you this, bruh. Male nature is way darker than you'll ever think, man. Some of y'all have that's why, like, some of y'all have guy friends that become friends with you guys only to get closer to your chick, man. They pretend to be your homie and they get close with you so that they can get your chick. And then by doing so, they start slowly doing things with their body language and psychologically dominating you in front of her, which is obviously gonna do uh, some magical work that somehow she'll end up with him and leave you because now you're a beta male. That's why I recommend, man, every man should be on their purpose. Every man should be in the gym. Every man should be meditating. Every man should be taking the right supplements. Every man should be getting 8 hours of sleep. Every man should be doing heavy lifting and boosting their testosterone, boosting their masculine energy, boosting their dominance. Okay, and most of it is psychological. It's not really just physical, even though the physical helps. But it's not just physical, it's psychological, man. How do you carry yourself, man? How do you carry yourself when you walk outside in public, man? Do you have good posture? Are you looking people in the eye? Is your voice projecting? These are the things that are gonna determine whether you are a beta male or an alpha male, whether you're prey or whether you're the hunter. And you don't want to be a motherfucker prey. You don't want to be a motherfucking prey. Because if you're a prey, then you're going to be the guy that's sitting at the club next to his wife, and the alpha male across the table looks her in the eyes and psychologically tells her to meet him in the bathroom, and he blows her back out. Then she comes back to you. Oh, baby, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I took so long in the bathroom. I'm sorry, baby. And you're sitting there like looking lost as a motherfucker, man. You don't know what the fuck is going on. You believe this. You're like, okay, baby, it's okay. It's okay, baby. It's okay. I love you. Here, come give me a kiss. That's what you're gonna do, man. I don't want y'all to be like that, man. I don't want y'all to be ignorant to these things, man, because it is real life and life can be dark sometimes, man. Life can be really dark sometimes. And we gotta be ready. We gotta be prepared. This ain't no game. You think life is a game, bro? Oh, man. Life is not a game. Life is actually quite the opposite of a game, and in a way it is a game actually, because you gotta play the game and you gotta realize what's really going on so that you can win the game. Okay. So yeah, sometimes being retarded is the best option, and I might just go ahead and fucking start doing that. Okay, I might just go ahead and switch. That's what it takes. That's just what it takes. Because it's crazy out here, man. It's crazy. The amount of times I see married women staring at me at the grocery store, at the gym, look at me in the eyes like they want me to fucking do something to them, you know, right there, man, is insane. And this makes me lose hope for society, man, because why does she have the boyfriend if she's looking at me like that? Why does she even have the husband if she want to sleep with me that bad? You can just feel it, man. You know, you see the look in their eyes when they make eye contact with you. They start looking at your body, checking you out. You can just feel the energy that that's what they want. And that's crazy to me, man. And their husbands are sitting there right next to them like a simp, like a beta male. He has no fucking idea what is going on. He thinks that we're just making eye contact. And obviously, I don't really entertain that. And I don't really like look at them for a long time so that they know that I'm not interested. But I'm saying that it does happen, and it does happen to other guys that are select as well. It happens to guys that are also, you know, a maybe attractive in that kind of way, man. You know what I'm saying? So, and the husbands will never know. You know, all it takes is if I wanted to do that, even though I don't want to do it, but if I wanted to, I can easily just maintain eye contact with one of these women that are in the store or whatever, and just go up to them and just sneak up my phone real quick, just like that. They'll put their number in the phone without even saying a word to me, and they'll text me. And now, guess what? They're gonna cheat on their husband, maybe the same day or the next day, and the husband is never gonna find out. The husband is never gonna find out. So these things happen. These things happen, and I want y'all to realize that, bro. These things happen. They happen every day.